Hello, my name is Valen, and I'll be talking to you today about ultra processed foods and being careful what we eat. So, I'll start out by saying, as a child, I did have my fair share of hospital stays overnight. And because I had asthma, and I get to carry around this little Butarope inhaler, it's a steroid actually to strengthen the lungs, to help you fight inflammation, which some foods can cause inflammation. So I try to do the best I can with my health so I don't have to worry about those types of things. I do want to bring up the fact that there are good foods and okay foods, and even, well, there's like three levels. So we have the unprocessed foods, which of course would be more like vegetables, fresh vegetables or frozen vegetables even. Also, we have dried nuts and meats and herbs and those sorts of things that are good for you. They're not processed, or they don't, they come directly out of the ground. And that's how a lot of people, I think, from the old days used to, or I should say, our ancestors lived so long or healthy because of the foods that they ate in certain regions. They could grow and stay healthy. They would eat a lot of fruits and nuts and fish, things that were fresh. So we do have those like oranges, and apples, berries and nuts, things of that sort. Even coffee is okay, unsweetened. Not too bad for you. And then we also have the processed foods. So the processed foods would be along the lines of iodized salt, salted butter, also like honey, from the comb. It is processed. And then like oils, virgin oils with added preservatives. So those sorts of things would be more along the processed, which aren't too bad. We do have to cook and do what we need to do to survive. Make cooking, affordable or hassle-free as possible, especially if you got a family or you work and go to school and, have a busy life. So that's where we get to the point of more like processed foods now that are like canned foods that are like canned vegetables that are like salted and cured, things of that sort, is when things start getting a little more hectic, according to some of the studies that I watched or read about as well. Some YouTube videos I've been following for a while, probably since COVID. We were kind of getting excessive on our eating habits, getting bored, and that's what happens. You eat out of comfort or for comfort, some people, and you just eat whatever tastes good. So yeah, we were eating a lot of processed food, microwave popcorns, and things that were just like unhealthy, getting weight. And actually you could feel the difference from when you're eating healthy or not. So we started to eat healthy and actually seeing benefits. So yeah, then there's also the ultra processed foods, which are more along the lines of your typical Cokes, Sprites, those fruit drinks and such. I've got some Nutter Butters here. Kids love these. I like them too. But I try to stay away from this type of stuff. It just has a lot of sugar in it. It's very processed, and there's like minimal nutrition. It's basically just a filler. There's lots of studies about these types of foods, how they're modified starches and sugars and bleaching and food coloring. And these Oreos right here, another really good snack. Pretty bad for you though. So yeah, they have they're like addicting, the sugars, the amount of sugars that you eat. You're only supposed to have a certain amount, and like one Coke would have like 27 grams of sugar in it. And say someone's supposed to have like maybe 25 grams of sugar per day, and you're already over with one Coke. So according to the this Canadian study that I read in March of 2015 by the WHO, World Health Organization, in 1989, I believe it was, 1989, they came up with a measurement of about less than 10% of your food processed daily should be sugars. So less than 10%. That would be around 50 grams or so, depending on the person or how they eat or their size and all that. But yeah, so they actually had that study, and that would make it around that many grams of sugar, which, like I said, that's one Coke, which we know most people don't drink one Coke a day even, and let alone that just be the only intake that they would have. So yeah, we also read that story, and they went into deeper studies in 2002 and changed it to less than 5%, which brings you from 50 grams of sugar down to 25 grams of sugar. So these sugars, and then on top of that, the ultra processed foods with all the carbohydrates and starch and all the processing to make this food last long, is really not too good according to the studies that I've read about. So there's the Canadian study and a Harvard study that shows these things, and I think it says about, on average, we eat about 50%, or that's in Canada actually, 50% of the food we intake would be like ultra processed foods, which is not really good at all. So like I said, I stopped eating ultra processed foods. My wife stopped eating it. Well, we minimalized it basically, which of course would be better than to just go straight all and just having it every day. So yeah, we minimize it, and we've actually had health benefits I can attest to. She's lost like 40 pounds by rarely working out and just stopped eating those foods, like the pizzas and the candy and the ice creams and the sodas and all the things that are just easy and convenient to grab, to-go foods, Lunchables and things like that. When you're busy, they're convenient, but is the convenience worth your health? I say not, as far as I'm concerned. So I ask people to watch what you eat, and there's all kinds of sickness that comes with this. There's, like I said, inflammation, obesity, bowel disease, IBDs, inflammation bowel disease. There's countless cancers and things that come from these foods just to make them, last long. Have you ever had a French fry that fell between their seats and you went and vacuumed it out maybe even months later, and that French fry is the same as if you just bought it from McDonald's almost? These foods are not the same as if you made it fresh in your own kitchen. So if you can, I would say to try and cook your own food, prep your own food, and you'll know what's in it, and it'll be more healthy for you. So yeah, the health is definitely worth doing it yourself and paying attention to what you eat. I hope everyone considers that. Have a good day. Thanks. And my work site is GI, Canadian Society of Intestinal Research, Anne Marie Stelluti, RD, 2019. Gastrointestinal Society, www.badgut.org. And also, I have How to Identify Ultra-Processed Food and What to Eat Instead, Rebecca Horton, BSc, and Olivia Casano, December 1st, 2021. And that's Understand How Your Body Responds to Food. Joinzo.com. And then I also have Harvard Health Publishing, Catherine D. McManus, RD, LDN, January 9th, 2020. And that's Catherine D. McManus, MS, RD, LDN, Harvard Health.